Time for Ask the Trooper with State Police Troop I spokesperson Brooks Davey, 232-1542. If you have a question or a comment for him, he'll do his best to get that answer for you. And Brooks, it's the first day of school here in Lafayette Parish. I know you sent your little ones off to school yesterday in a different parish. But here in Lafayette Parish, first day of school, and of course that's going to mean more traffic on the roadways, and we got some new state laws that go into effect today that might cause some confusion out there. One of them in particular has to do with cell phones.
That's right. You're not allowed to use a cell phone inside the school zone when that school zone is in effect. Unless it is a Bluetooth device inside of that vehicle, as some come from the factory like that.
Right.
Then you're allowed to use it. Or if it's an emergency, or someone's life is in danger, or if you're parked inside of that school zone. That'll be the only time that you're allowed to use that cell phone inside of a school zone.
So you got to be either parked, you got to be having an emergency, or your phone basically has to work through the system inside your car. So anything that requires you to reach for a phone or reach for anything in your car, like a Bluetooth earpiece, for example, that would violate the spirit of the law, basically?
Correct.
Okay, so it has to be completely hands-free in order for you to use it.
Correct.
Okay. Of course, and we've talked about this before, first day of school, that means we start seeing school buses out on the streets. We've got a good number of other traffic on the streets as well. I mean, what do we have to be aware of when dealing with these school buses and dealing with more traffic?
Well, what we want to be aware of, people have to remember when a school bus is picking up or discharging children, they're not allowed to exceed 35 miles an hour. So you want to make sure that you're driving a safe distance behind that school bus. If they're on a highway and they're carrying children on the bus, take for instance 167 in a rural area, they're not allowed to exceed 55 miles an hour. So you want to keep a safe distance behind the bus. As soon as those yellow flashes on the bus come on, you don't want to see if you can beat the stop sign from coming out. Captain Bro, our troop commander at Troop I, has put unmarked units out on the road and extra marked units along with our motorcycle patrol in the areas where the schools are in effect now. They will be strict and they will be looking for those violations in the next couple of days and throughout the school year. There will be no breaks given. If you pass a school bus with that stop sign out, you will receive a citation.
Wow. So obviously a zero tolerance there. One of the things, and we see this report, some stations do this report at the beginning of every school year. They send a reporter out there with a radar gun, and they clock traffic as they pass through an active school zone. And it can be surprising sometimes how many people just ignore the flashing yellow lights posted outside the school zone and the posted speed limit, etc. I mean, what are y'all doing to combat speeding through a school zone as well?
Well, Captain Bro has a standing policy at Troop I. Throughout the day and throughout the school year, troopers must visit a school so many times throughout the month. And that can be anything from getting down at the school and visiting with the administration, speaking with the children, or simply parked in that school zone, running radar and stopping vehicles during the time where the school zones are in effect. So you'll notice troopers at schools, whether it's in the city or the rural areas of the Troop I area, and there's no need to worry. We're there for a reason. Mm-hmm. We want people to see that troopers are out. We are speaking. We want the public to know that we're in the schools. Just want them to feel safe.
Yeah.
Kind of a deterrent. We want people to see and know that we're there.
Yeah. First of all, I think that's a great policy from Captain Bro over at Troop I. I mean, how does a trooper, for example, getting down, going into the school, talking to the administration, talking to students, this is required of every trooper? They have to visit the troop a couple of times a month, a school a couple of times a month?
At Troop I, it is.
Yeah.
We get down, we speak with the administration. We ask if they have any concerns. We want to know where, in a crisis situation, where the entrance and the exits are. We want to know what their policy is if something happens at that school. We want to let them know what we're going to do if there's a situation at that school. So we're all on the same page. If we need to come into that school and take care of a certain situation, and they see state police going in there to do something, they're going to already know what we're going in there to do.
Yeah.
So we get down, we speak with them. We might go speak with the kids or read the kids a book.
I'm sure things like that. These are somewhat little things in the larger scheme of things, but I would imagine they help foster a spirit of community between troopers and the education community.
Well, it's good because, when you're eating lunch or you're at the store or something and you hear a parent say, you better behave or I'm going to have this trooper arrest you. We don't want to hear that. We want to be there for the children. We want the children to know that they can come to us in a time of need. Or if they want to take a picture sometimes, come to us and let us do that. If we go read these kids a book, about safety or about seatbelts or about wearing helmets, while they're riding a bike, we want to build these kids' trust, and we want them to know that we're here for them.
All right, State Police Troop I spokesperson joining us here on Nathan and Bernie in the Morning. Ask the Trooper again, 232-1542 with your questions or comments. We'll be right back. We've got Sean Hannity in his Morning Minute next. Coming up on 7:20 here at KPEL, it's Nathan and Bernie in the Morning. 232-1542 if you'd like to join the conversation with us. Again, it is the first day of school. We'd love to see those back-to-school pictures. You can send them to us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/KPEL965. You can also tweet them at us. Just look us up on Twitter at KPEL965. Continuing our discussion with State Police Troop I spokesperson Brooks David, and 232-1542 if you have a question or comment for Brooks. We talked about this a little bit, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it's still continuing to be a problem, it seems like. But driving in the left lane, a lot of people may not realize this, but that's a pretty big no-no.
Yeah, it's continuing to be a problem. Some people just not getting the message. The other day, for example, a trooper got his vehicle hit. And then somebody brought up in the cities, if traffic is backed up, it's okay. We don't want to cause congestion on the highways. It's when you're in an open area and there's no reason to be traveling in the left lane. We understand if you're heading from Maurice into Lafayette, you're going to have traffic in the left lane. It's going to happen. But in between Abbeville and, say, Maurice, for example, that left lane shouldn't be crowded with vehicles while the right lane is empty. That shouldn't happen.
You sure like to use 167 as an example.
Well, it's because I'm familiar with that a lot.
Yeah. And I'm like the worst defender on 167, I'll be honest.
Okay, we'll go with 90.
I'll tell you where was I? We were on I-49 heading to Opelousas, and I'm driving in the left lane at 70. And Tara looks at me, and she's like, Brooks David says that you're not supposed to be driving the left lane. And I look at her, and I'm like,
good job, Tara.
Ding, ding.
Yeah, exactly, right?
All right, Brooks David joining us here for Ask the Trooper, Nathan and Bernie in the Morning. Brooks, as always, it's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you again next week. 7:21 here at KPEL. We've got Todd Starnes with his Fox News and commentary.
From New York, I'm Todd Starnes with this Fox News and commentary next.
If you want to work until you drop, reduce your standard of living in retirement, or lose more of your hard-earned money in the stock market, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to generate a steady, predictable income, I'm talking real wealth and financial